Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We've got a busy week ahead of us. It's looking like, so it's actually Tuesday right now. We did a little bit of spraying in today. We got all of the hay and pasture ground finished up, so now we are going to get started on some burn down out on some crop ground. So today that's what we're going to try to work on. Me and Dad are both going to be rolling on burn down, so we're going to try to get a lot burned down here. That way whenever it comes time, when it dries out, we can plant. We can focus on planting, and then he can help with planting and not spraying and everything like that. So right now I'm preparing for Bob to get back with some seed here this morning. Well, it'd be more like afternoon whenever he gets back, but we had all the corn stacked here on this last row, so I just moved it out here, and then I had to reorganize the seed beans a little bit. I'm gonna put the row of corn right there and back here in the lean-to. That way it's out of the way. We've got our earlier seed beans here, so that way we can get access to them. And then the later ones are back there in the back. So I'm gonna get this stacked in here. I'm trying to get it in order to where what I'm gonna use first. So I'm gonna leave the 6414, that's the blue tag, out first. That's probably gonna be what I'll use here towards the beginning, and then kind of organize it like that. And then we're gonna be getting some soybeans in here today. I think for us, we're going to be keeping about 10 boxes of what's coming in, and then the other 10 or so is going to be going to some customers today. So we'll try to get those delivered this afternoon. That way they have those and they're ready to hit the fields. It's almost dry enough that we could plant today. I know one of our customers planted yesterday, so I got a little bit of corn in the ground, I believe. So it is possible to plant, but by the time we get everything going, it's going to rain again tonight, or so they say it is. Now I don't know how much exactly it's going to rain, but we'll just have to see. So anyways, I'm going to get this seed organized, and then hopefully we'll be here in a sprayer here after a bit. Okay, so I've basically moved every box in the shed now. So I rearranged the beans, so now we have our 40-30s on this side, 41-50s in the middle, 43-20s on the side. The 43-20s were buried back here, so we're going to end up planting those first with the way that everything's going to work out. And then we'll plant the 41-50s next, and then the 40-30s will get planted last, just because they go on some of the wetter ground. So we like to, these do really good on that wetter ground, so we like to plant those on there. I know it's a little bit backwards with the maturities, but it's most of the time more important to get the right bean on the right acre than the maturities. Okay, well, our plans have changed a little bit today. So it's been pretty windy all day, so we're not going to be able to spray. So I came down here to Laconia, and I'm in the 8235. We're going to go hook this up to a chisel plow. I went out in the field and I took a shovel and kind of dug it up a little bit. And the top 2 inches is dry, but underneath of that, it's kind of wet. It's not necessarily mud, but it's just a little bit tacky underneath. So I don't know how it'll work up. I'm going to go get this thing hooked up and see how much trouble we have with that. And then I'll come back and drop it in the ground, and then we'll see how many clods are going to come up and what it's going to work up like. So we'll just have to figure it out here and see. Okay, well, I had a little bit of a struggle hooking it up, but we backed this in. We didn't use this thing last year. We have like 3 chisel plows. We didn't use this one last year, so it was in the back. There was nothing in front of it, but we had backed the mulch finisher or the soil finisher, whatever you want to call it, beside it, and it kind of blocked it in a little bit because some of the sweeps on the soil finisher were sticking out closer, and so I had to hook it up to the 9330. I had to hook this up to the 9330 4-wheel drive. It articulates, so I hooked it up and kind of moved the tongue over a little bit. And then I unhooked it and then backed this in there and barely squeezed it by and got it out. So I'm going like 15 because the tires on here are pretty low. They're not too bad, but I'm just gonna try to make it up here to where my truck's at. Then I can air them up, and then the next issue is the hydraulic hoses look like they're the original ones that were put on here in like the 1980s whenever this thing was built. So they're like, there's like no coating left on them, and they're all rusted, and they were so stiff that I could barely move them. So I would say that by the time that I get by the time I run them, they're probably going to blow. So I'm gonna get it up here to the barn before the cylinder stops were in it, luckily, so I didn't have to raise it up or anything. So I'm gonna get it up here to the barn and like kind of back it out of the way before I try to use the hydraulic hoses. That way, in case they do blow, I can just unhook it outside, and then I just pull the tractor in the barn. Because it's looking like rain here tonight, so even if I do get out here in the field, it's going to be probably like 2 hours of running before it starts raining. So we're just going to try to get this thing up here and go from there. Okay, well, I got the tires aired up and everything, and we're doing it. And this ground is hard as a rock. I mean, I don't know what my slip is. Let me pull it up here. Where's the slip at? Slip, 13%, 16, 15. I mean, this stuff is hard. And I'm having to get about 1900 RPM, pulling about 5 miles an hour. And this thing's about 300 horse. This is a 9-shank chisel plow, so it's giving it a pretty good load. But I'm gonna get out here. I'm gonna go about halfway down the next round, and then I'm gonna get out and kind of kick it around. I mean, it's not wet, but it's kind of borderline. But I've got about an hour of running before it's gonna rain, so I might just run for a little while and call it good. So I mean, absolutely like killing the tractor, dropping it down. Crazy. But anyways, we'll get down here about the middle, because that's about average ground, and then we'll kind of see what it looks like. Okay, well, I got out and checked it. It's probably a little bit wet, so I'm probably gonna call it after this pass here. But anyways, the first field work of 2024 for tillage, that is. And it is like, back there was a spot, and it like brung this tractor to its knees. So definitely packed down back here. So this is where we put sludge on at this winter. So it's not really rutted up terribly, but there's compaction because it's not always ideal conditions whenever he's out here applying. So it does get packed down a little bit. So it's just kind of part of it. That's why we like to chisel it, kind of break up that compaction a little bit. And so anyways, we've got about 100 acres here that needs to be done. This little field is 10. That's something. And then there's the front field out there. But I just wanted to come back here and give it a shot. We at least got everything shined up, made sure nothing was gonna break right off the bat. I just figured I'd get out here and show you. This is a little bit drier here on this little knob, but these clumps, I mean, it's just, they kind of fall apart. But you get out here in like this area, and they're a little bit more tacky. Like this clump here, it breaks apart, but it's still just kind of muddy. So probably not gonna continue going, and then it gets wetter as you get back that way. So, well, even just right here, it gets pretty wet. So. Okay, it's Thursday. Didn't really film anything yesterday. We got started spraying some burn down. As you can see, we're out in the field now, and we're at this field here behind the farm. I don't know if you can see the farm there, but there's a lot of terraces and waterways, so I finally made it around most of them yesterday, and it's very difficult to film while I'm doing that. So now I'm kind of out here in the middle for a little bit, and we're just spraying along. So we're getting this stuff killed down, and then this is going to be going to corn here. So Dad's spraying up at another cornfield, about 100 acres. He sprayed about 70 acres yesterday of burn down. So we're getting started. We should have a pretty good day today. Getting stuff should be basically done with burn down here around the farm today, and then we should be able to move out north of town, and then west of town, and then wherever we want to go from there. So I got to do some switching off here. Let me turn you around. Alright. Had a waterway here on my left back there, so I had to flip that off so it didn't kill the waterway. I'll show you what we got done. I just finished up 140 something acres here at the farm. Just finished up, let me get to the right spot. There we go, 144 acres. Just finished up, and so I'm gonna head down. I think I'm gonna head down to the golf course. That way I've got, looks like 50 gallon left. I'm gonna get out and check, make sure that that's correct, and then I'll go run that out. And then I'm gonna have to wait a little bit for Dad to get the spray trailer back, because he's got it up east of the farm here, working on a field. So I'm gonna have to wait till he gets done where he's at, and then I can get filled back up again. Okay, we'll just get out here. I can look on the gauge, and it looks like we've got about 75 gallon. Sometimes the thing on the computer is not always accurate, because it just takes out 10 gallons. That's the rate that we're spraying. We're spraying 10 gallon the acre, so it just takes 10 gallon for every acre. So we could under apply or over apply. In this case, it looks like we either under applied, or there was actually more than 800 gallon in the tank. So either way, it's fine. That means we'll have enough to maybe get one of the little fields done down there, and then we can maybe go pick up a hay mower here in a minute. There's our load of seed sitting there. That should be the rest of our corn and some more beans. I'll show you that guy a little bit later. We may not even get to that today, depending on how much more spraying we want to do. Might do that tomorrow. Talking like there's going to be some rain either mid-morning or around noon tomorrow, so probably won't be spraying tomorrow. Since the storm's coming in, it'll probably be some wind and stuff, so probably try to work on that tomorrow. But the other day we got our load of beans in. I'm not sure if I showed you that or not, but I'll show you here this evening. Alright, I came over here and got the 40/40 out of the barn, and it's kind of a mess. The birds keep getting in this barn. We keep trying to seal it up, but the birds keep getting in, so we're gonna have to wash this off here at some point, either today or tomorrow. But we gotta go get a hay mower right now, because John Deere has finally came back with their quick change knives that we're gonna put back on here, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, well, I came up here, I got one out, and then Dad came back and he to get in the other one. We got them tucked in this little barn here. This is actually where Dad was spraying at earlier. His sprayer's right over there. But he brought the 6145. I just ran this 4040 up here to hook this up. This is obviously not what's going to be pulling this hay mower because it would not stand a chance of pulling it. We have to put the 7630 on this one because if we don't, then nothing else has enough power to pull it. So we'll put that 6145. It's just a 2-wheel drive. We put it on the other one. That mower is a little bit smaller in width. This one's a little bit wider, so it takes a lot more power to pull actually. All right, we got them both hooked up now. Dad took his sprayer and went. Cody's gonna get dropped off here. He's gonna take that one here in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one back to the farm or whatever. That way it can get worked on tomorrow. Okay, I just got back here to the farm with the hay mower. We gotta get loaded back up here with the sprayer because Dad got the spray trailer back. So it's kind of hard for me to show you this stuff because I'm trying to mix chemicals, but I'll try to show you a little bit of what I'm doing. So get a hook up and start pumping water, and then we'll start putting our chemicals into the inductor that are hand pours. And then with our Durameters here, we've got 2 products that we're going to be putting in through those that are on a larger quantity. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Okay, I got all of our products in the inductor, so it's just sucking them out right now, putting them in the sprayer. So we've already got about 300 gallons of water, and so we're pumping these in now. And then after we get that pumped in, we will turn our other meters on, and we will flip the valve, which is already flipped but shouldn't be flipped. We'll flip that, turn those on, and it'll pump it out of that back tote there and this front tote right here. So we'll just wait for this to go down. We're gonna rinse it out. We'll shut the lid, rinse it, and there's a nozzle in there. It rinses it all out. Be good and clean. Doesn't really matter if it's super clean because me and Dad are both spraying the same thing, but it's good to keep it clean. That way it doesn't build up inside there and stuff. All right, we're about empty. Might put a little water in the bottom. All right, close the valve. Close the lid. And turn the rinse on. Now it should be rinsing. I can kick that back on. Looks like we're about 450. Turn that off. End up dropping my glove in here. What's gonna happen? Get ready to shut this off here. Alright. That'll be clean enough. I might put a little bit more water in the bottom. There we go. Now it's all clean. Alright, now we're gonna let that go and we'll go down here. Alright, we're gonna start this pump, so turn that on, start that, and we're gonna be pumping right out of that tank. And then once this one gets done, I'll start the other one, and then that one doesn't have to go quite as long as this one does. But anyways, that's about all there is to it. After that gets done, I'll flip that big valve there, and then we'll flow straight 3-inch all the way out. Right now we're flowing through the Ventura, that's down there, but I'll flip it, we'll flow right through there. We'll finish up filling 3-inch, and it won't take but like a minute to get all the way up there to 800 gallons. Okay, we got finished loading up. Dad actually just got back. He just got done spraying, so we're gonna go finish the field that we were in. It's like 8 acres, and then we're gonna finish. We got about 20 or 25 after that to do down here, and then we gotta go up the road. We got probably about 20 acres up there, so we go finish up, and then that'll be it for tonight. There goes Cody with Dad's sprayer. He's taking that out to the north side of town. We've got about 500-ish acres out there collectively that we've got to get sprayed, so There's a shed out there, so if he's gonna put that in the shed here, it's supposed to be raining tomorrow at noon-ish, so Dad might go out there and spray a little bit tonight or in the morning, and then we'll see what the forecast looks like in the morning, and if it looks like it's gonna be pretty clear, I'll take this out there and we'll spray with this too and see what we can knock out, but not exactly sure what the weather's gonna do quite yet. All right, I just got done with this field. Have to go around a few waterways in this one. But anyways, we are gonna head up towards Lanesville. We got about 20 acres we're gonna hit, and then that'll be it for the spraying today. Looks like we've got 430 gallon left. Okay, I got done spraying everything. Got the sprayer in the barn, and Cody is going to bring the hay mower up here in a minute. The one of them, he's washing one of them, but he's gonna bring one of them up here. We gotta try to get them here in the front of the barn. Since they're coming to work on them in the morning, John Deere is. So the one mower is a 2022 model, and we'd ordered it with these quick change knives, and I can show you up close later, but they ended up recalling that and taking it off and putting the standard bolt-on knives on. And then we had bought a used 2019 mower, which is the other mower that we have, and it had already had the recall done. They had already taken it off. So now they're coming back after like 4 years. I guess they figured out the technology of using a quick change knife, where you use a tool and you undo the knife. I guess they finally figured that out, so they're gonna try to put it back on now, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully they don't come flying off whenever we start it up, because that's apparently what happened the last time, and then they had to recall that. So we'll see what that system looks like after they get it on there tomorrow, but should be interesting. If it does work, it would be really nice, because you don't have to have an impact and a screwdriver and a hammer and whatever other tools that you need to change the knives. You would just have the one tool, and then you just have your blades, and you can carry that around the tractor with you. So if you got a dull blade or you had one that broke off, you could easily get out, switch it, and that way you keep cutting and you don't have to keep all those tools in the tractor with you, which would be pretty nice if they can get it to work. I just don't really want blades flying off of the mower and into the tractor. Okay, it's Friday morning and we're unloading seed. As you can see, we've got a whole variety of stuff. I've only got the trailer about halfway. I don't know if you can see that, but I gotta move a couple of these out of the way before I can keep unloading. So I had to get some of that other stuff out of the way like that. I had to get that off the back because we've got like 5 or 6 boxes of the same variety here that I've got a space cleared out in here that's going to go in line with the rest of that variety. So I just wanted to get everything out of the way, that way I can get the most of it out of the way and get it stacked where it needs to go, because it's got to get stacked right there on that row. So we'll go ahead and get that there, and then we can stack something else in front of that for now. So we'll get that unloaded as far as we can with the telehandler, and then we'll have to get the pallet jack. Okay, I can get one more box out of here and then I run out of reach, so I'll have to get the pallet jack in there. But this thing works pretty good for getting about half the trailer out. Actually, probably over half the trailer. Okay, well, it started raining, so I had to bring all the corn in, but I got it all in before it got too wet, so now we got a mess. Okay, so we went and got some lunch, and we came out here to the other farm, and we're gonna work on putting some more gravel out for our silage bags whenever we have to chop silage here coming up. And about a week ago, this pond was right up here level with the bottom of this fence right here. And I don't know if you can tell now, but it's way down. So we didn't even touch anything with this pond. We didn't do anything. But over here, you can see the excavator in the background. There's another pond that used to be over there. It's kind of been drying up the past few years, so we want to fill it in, and that way we can have some more room there, flat area. So anytime we get some fill dirt, we'll put it in there or whatever. So Dad decided he was going to dig it out, and we're going to put a drain in it, so that way it'll drain to the sinkhole, which is down there below it somewhere. So he ended up getting that one drained, and in the process of doing that, it somehow drained this pond over here. So I guess we killed two birds with one stone, because this pond was getting up pretty close. It was getting pretty close to the bottom of the fence. Actually, it was literally right there, and you can see how deep that pond was. It was pretty deep. I know you can't really tell as much here on the camera, but that's a good 15 feet deep probably. And then there's no telling how deep it is actually out there in the middle. I don't know how much farther that goes, but it's interesting how it's all interconnected underneath here. But anyways, we're gonna go out here and get some gravel laid out. There's the pond that he dug out there. See the excavator? And then there's the pond over there. So there's this big hill in between here. And somehow they're connected underneath there, and whether there's a cave system underneath or whatever, something happened. All right, we're getting our fabric laid out. So this is where our bags are. You can see it kind of. This window makes it difficult, but we're laying some fabric down on that side. So usually we have room for 3 bags here, but this is a wheat bag, and we're gonna be chopping wheat here about mid-May, and we're not gonna have that bag finished up. Now that Milo bag right there will be finished up, but come next fall, we're gonna need some room to put another Milo bag. So we need to put this extra fabric over here. That way we have room to lay it down and get in between here. So we're planning for this fall. We can lay our 2 wheat bags here, but that won't be a problem. But next fall it will be a problem. So we're gonna need a little bit more room. So that's what we're doing here. We got a couple loads of rock. Bob's hauling about 2 more, and that'll get finished up. We are getting the rest of this trailer unloaded now. We got our gravel pad down. So we've got seed stacked around everywhere, trying to get it organized. I gotta move some beans over now. It's just a whole mess. We're gonna get it organized and figured out here, and then maybe make a seed delivery depending on if anybody's gonna plant tomorrow or not, because we're missing the rain today. So it's looking like tomorrow might get pretty exciting. Okay, we got our mess cleaned up. Oh my gosh. We got our mess cleaned up. We're gonna get these 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes out, and this corn right here. We can get that out here in the morning and delivered. Got everything else basically put away. There's 3 boxes of corn there. That needs to get stacked back there in the back, but I'm not moving all that stuff tonight. So, and then we could possibly move some beans out of here tomorrow. That bottom pallet might get picked up, and a few bags of corn there. So we'll see if that goes through in the morning. But anyways, got everything basically put together another order right there on top of that. Had to pull some bags off of another pallet, and trying to get this stuff together for all the customers. That way it's ready to go. We don't have to do it while we're trying to plant or anything else. So Oakley's got some good plastic there, and we're gonna go home. Morning everyone, it's Saturday, and we're gonna get this seed delivered here this morning. Got these pallets of corn and a couple boxes of beans, so let's get it loaded up. All right, we just got loaded up, and and we gotta get it strapped down, and then we'll be on the way. The pace has picked up significantly this afternoon. We're down here at Waconia. We're picking up the 2 bean planters, and we're heading back home. So Dad's got the air drill, Cody's got the DB, and I'm flagging up here in front of him. We got to get back, and we're going all the way north to the furthest north farm, and we're gonna get started planting up there with some seed beans. So we'll make the long journey there, see how many cars we can run into that are not very nice, and just do the typical moving routine. So waiting on them to get up here and we'll get started. Okay, we're getting seed in the DB60, getting started here. So well, this is gonna take a little bit, but we'll have to get everything set and get everything going here. Okay, we're dropping it in for the first time. We'll get some down pressure built up, and then see what happens. All right, we're gonna check some depth now. Thank you for watching this week's video. Please like and subscribe down below, leave me a comment, and we'll see you next week.